digital.
Welcome, one and all, to another episode of the original Pleasure Explosion. This week, to my left, Nicholas, the curmudgeonly Baker Pryor.
I'm not a fan of that statement.
I feel like I've heard that before.
Deja
To his
vu.
left, Jack Pepsi's enemy number one, Cruz.
Cheer!
To my right, Dylan, the Tasmanian Devil, Blight.
What up, cunts?
To his right, Jono, busy with the family, Peck.
Shaboy, I'm alone at the moment, but my wife's on the phone in the next room, so you might hear her too.
That's just what we need.
Yeah.
And special guest from across the table, Nato. Is Perth even really part of Australia? Johnston.
I don't actually think it is. Like, can we just get away from the rest of Australia, just like Tasmania? They had the right idea. I respect your state, Dylan. Just get the fuck away from Australia.
Welcome, Nato. Welcome to our humble podcast.
Welcome to this absolute shit show. Well, apparently, no, I saw in the news that the other day, actually, Tasmania is apparently, like, drifting out into the sea.
Yeah, they got the right idea.
That was an
Yeah,
April
that's
Fool's
me.
joke, Tom.
I keep lying. I do have another side job. Like, the government more or less came around, knocked on everyone's doors, handed every person above
paddle.
the age of 16 a paddle, and said you
On
need
Saturdays.
to log at least between 5 to 6 hours a week of paddling. So, I mean, I live close to the edge. Like, I can from my work, it takes me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to drive to a good spot. So I just do a couple hours after work each day. I just drive out there, stick the paddle in, do a good couple hours of paddling, and then go home for the night. And I log it with the general overlord of that section. And yeah, I mean, we're
I feel
drifting.
really bad for the people that live inland Hobart.
Yeah, it's
Like,
hard. It's harder for them. They have to drive a bit further, but you know, we all got to pull our own weight to get away from.
It's
you
a
like going
relatively
west?
small island comparatively, so...
Do you like tag in and out when you go down to the beach? Do you have to like tap guy on the shoulder like, all right, I'm in, John. You know, old Smithy, I'll catch you next week. Yep, no worries, deal. Catch you later. Or
I mean,
is it like a punch in and
I've
out?
seen,
or-
I've seen a few of the same guys down
Yeah,
there, and we've hit up a good Discord. You know, a good chats come around, and
Yeah, cool.
some of them live further down in places like Burnie and stuff like that, and they travel up. Some of them have come further distances because they just think it's a better spot to do their allocated paddling. So,
No, it's a noble cause. The
It's,
further away
you know.
we can get from you guys, the better, I say.
and I feel the same way personally. So
Good.
Yeah.
that's good.
Hey,
What's the
Nick,
yeah.
give us a highlight from the last week, Nick.
A whole lot of not much happened, to be honest.
If that's a good thing, then that sounds great.
Yeah.
High fucking
good
five,
news.
Nick. Good job, Nick.
Thank you.
High fucking
Thank you.
five.
I put a lot of work
Jack,
into
what
this.
about yourself?
Good curmudgeon.
Good curmudgeon. For myself, I've been sick as fuck. So the week has been, it's been okay. I had a night on my own during the week, which was different. I don't get that very often with the missus going away and the little one staying with his auntie. But I'm just trying to get over this cold at the moment. So apologies if I'm coming through a little bit nasally. Hopefully by next week I'll be ready to go.
None more so than usual, so... Dill, how about yourself?
I can't remember. I've literally been sitting here the last minute trying to think what I've done this week. And other than watch Rogue One and buy it twice, I don't know what else to tell you. So...
Bought
Is
it
that
twice?
two new Blu-rays for the pile, or...
Oh, Persona. That's all. Yeah, but...
Yeah, Persona.
Persona.
Preview for
That's
tomorrow's
better.
Platinum Explosion. There'll be
Yeah,
Persona.
tune into Platinum Explosion tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Tuesday.
Well, no, it's actually... No, spoilers. We record tomorrow. It comes out on Tuesdays. Sorry.
okay.
Sorry.
Jono, you've had family round. Is that a highlight, or...
Yeah, that's been a bit of an early Easter with the fam, but yeah, a bit of Platinum. Persona 5. Going for that. Platinum.
Yeah, look at Jono plugging that one.
And what else? Oh, a bit of editing. You know, just the editing life.
Nice. And who the fuck are you, Nato?
All right. I was about to say, when are we getting to the best?
Saving it till
I-
last.
I just
None
went.
of us are laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's all you need. My laughter, because I'm the best. Now, I'm from a little podcast called Four Yanks, One Aussie. Maybe inspired a certain podcast. I don't know. They refuse to acknowledge that.
I don't know who you're
Something-
talking about.
Maybe tried to steal our name at one stage. So, but yeah, we're
They
pretty
sound
much
like dicks.
huh?
You cannot prove any of this.
I screenshotted that chat when you guys were like, let's call it 5 Aussies, 1 Kiwi. I was
I'm
like,
sure we were
screenshot.
joking
Yeah,
at that
I
point.
think I said that.
That'd be right.
Everything can be
anything
taken
to get
out of
away.
context.
Anything to get it away from pleasure explosion.
Yeah.
Hey, Jono.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we had Jono on a couple of weeks ago. His episode will be out in a few weeks because we record in a couple of weeks in advance. So we
Oh, you
always
pushed
have a
me back?
stockpile.
Nice. And obviously,
Oh.
we sort of met you first face to face over at RTX Sydney, and had sort of known you here and there. Through
Well,
the
actually,
Kind
no.
Funny
Like
Facebook
hardly
group, haven't we?
anyone knew me except for Jono because I'm not
your boy.
that like active on Facebook that much. But so I hadn't really talked with many of you in the Facebook group for Kind of Funny and stuff like that, except for Jack. I have a good story about Jack. Once he had put up a status in Kind of Funny group about, I think, trading in a PlayStation and all that, and I was like, well, this is a perfect opportunity to make a joke about how little EB gives you. So I was like, oh, you'll only probably get $1, and literally his only response, like, I've seen him comment, and he's usually a jokester and stuff like that, so I was like, he's going to take this good, but literally his only response was, that's not helping, and I was just like, oh, this guy's a bit of a dick.
I actually remember that. I can't remember. I was like, I think I was in a shitty mood, and I was like, I just need an answer. Like, I just want a quick answer. And this cunt comes in, and he's like, yeah, you're gonna get a GameStop. And I'm like,
GameStop.
oh, this motherfucker.
So that was my only interaction with Jack, and then I was like, "Oh God, I'm gonna have to meet this guy," and hopefully he doesn't remember that I was apparently a dick to him. And no, you never remembered until like probably this moment now.
No, yeah, I do remember that interaction though. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I was just like, I mean, it's hard to convey tone in over text or like over text. So, but I was just like, that's not helpful. Someone give me a good response.
How much did you get, Jack?
I didn't end up trading it in, so
Ah.
shows how much help.
After all.
Shows how much help I got from everyone.
Sounds like it was worth it.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, and it wasn't until I met you guys all at RTX that like actually hung out with you, because I'm the opposite of most people on the internet. I would rather meet people in real life than talk to them on the interwebs.
So who added you to the group chat? Was it?
Good old Jono.
Oh, you have me to
Yes.
thank.
Because I used to talk to you on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm pretty active on Twitter. Because I
Jono's never on Twitter.
not anymore. He used to be.
I
Now
hope
he's
you're
not.
kidding.
You know, he's too cool with his book and his multiple podcasts.
Do you two
Talk to
want to
us.
like just take over the pod?
Yeah,
The rest of us will
should-
just sit back here. We'll just make this the Jono and Nato
You wanna
podcast.
suck?
Or?
Yeah, just want to suck
Nah,
each
he
other.
keeps
off a
trying to
bit
steal
more.
my position on my podcast. So
I'm fairly
he's in my
certain
bad
this
books at the moment.
that has already happened. The sucking Jono off or Nato, Jono sucking
Well,
Nato
I'll tell you
off
what.
podcast, and,
Jono
that's
can
coming out
go
in
to
2
Four
weeks,
Yanks,
we
One
heard about.
Aussie. If Nato says he'll say the name of the podcast, we'll just swap.
I suggested
trade
a
him out.
trade. I suggested that.
This is
Hi, I'm
the
Nato
train
J,
you
and
want
this
to be
is
on.
Pleasure
Nato.
Explosion. See, rolls off the tongue.
It's on. Jono's like, I don't even care.
Jono's been looking for an out since episode 1.
Yeah, I signed that contract. What was I thinking?
Fool.
We own you now. Well,
And
technically Tom does because he owns the name.
apparently, I would give the highlight of my last week was over the course of Friday and Saturday, I managed to have hot wings for 3 out of 4 meals in a row. And breakfast Saturday morning was leftover McDonald's McChicken burger from getting home at quite late on Friday night. So
You're my hero.
I didn't think it was
Putting it
possible to have leftover McDonald's.
Can we give Tom a round of applause for that? I think that's a fantastic effort.
Actually, Tom, quick question: is there anything unique on the New Zealand McDonald's menu?
Kiwi burger.
I was going to say sheep burger,
So
but
the-
I think it's not really appropriate for the
no,
podcast.
the kiwi burger kind of comes and goes. Like every couple of years they kind of do the Kiwi burger, and it's a big thing. I think. I don't
Is that
think
like
it's
the
on there.
Macaw's?
It's standard.
What's in it?
Has it got kiwi fruit on it?
Beetroot.
No, it's beetroot and egg
Yeah.
and.
Same
Just
as the
basically
It's a
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
So it's an Aussie burger, and they just changed the name.
Fucking
Well,
Kiwis, get your own fucking burgers.
Steal the pavlova, steal everything from us.
Hey,
Stole
well,
split ends,
two
in
things.
crowded house.
Okay. I don't even know where to start with you fools, but I'd be pretty sure that if you asked McDonald's, it didn't start as a McAussie burger. It started as somebody else's burger in a different country that you appropriated as well.
No,
Wrong.
beetroot's
No,
Australian.
beetroot is an
Wrong.
Australian vegetable.
I don't think that's even true.
This
It
is
is
fake
now.
news.
It is now.
You can try and steal the Finn brothers from us,
Alternate
but you cannot
facts.
steal the Macaws.
I don't know. The beetroot is actually native to North America, Wikipedia says, so it's not Australian.
Kiwi
Um,
But
fact.
Australians are the one that puts it on burgers.
Gotta give it a
Yeah.
quick Google. And Crowded House and Split Ends were definitely New Zealand bands.
No, the
Wrong.
lead singer was Australian.
Wrong.
The Finn brothers.
This is
are
wrong.
Kiwis.
Finn brothers are Kiwis.
No, they're actually Australians.
What you're saying right now is wrong.
They're not.
Wrong.
And
You are
Wrong.
fake news. You are fake news.
You are fake news.
Farlap was a New Zealand horse, and you stole him and then killed him. And
Wrong.
Russell Crowe, even though he owns
you
a bunch of land and
do you see,
a shitty football team, he's actually born in New Zealand.
You
so.
can have Russell
You can have
Crowe.
Russell Crowe and Mel Gibson.
Tom, you should be a
No.
star.
You can't just give us Mel Gibson. We don't want Mel Gibson. We're not
You
trying to
mentioned
claim
Farlap,
that
though. You
anti-Semite.
mentioned Farlap, though. That's what happens when people try and claim them back. When you guys try and claim stuff back, Farlap is an example of what will happen.
You just kill it.
I just took that to a dark place.
If we can't have it, nobody can.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, and one last quick thing I wanted to do before getting into the topic. Just a quick update on Neighborhood Watch.
Oh, yep.
They're playing
Stalking.
Persona 5.
Bullshit.
Oh, of course they are.
Yeah, they're
We need
playing
to get
Persona
these
5.
guys
friends
on
with these
Platinum
people.
Explosion.
Well, maybe I'll ask them one week when we're a bit closer friends. But
Just
I know
tell
he's
them to
got
listen.
he's got 180,000, I assume, yen. It just looked like currency in the top corner, and that's probably not very much. So
You
That's
either
a
have
lot,
great
no.
eyesight or you have binoculars. and
Binoculars.
no, I have reasonable eyesight, but I also have a straight line of sight at their television as I'm walking in and out of my house. So
But you're not like at the window, are you peering in? Like how close is like to be able to see the detail? I remember you were saying you're like, I can tell what level he is on the horizon, and now you can see how much money he's got in. What the fuck?
I can only see
barely see the footy scores from the couch, and you're like, oh yeah, I can see what brightness
Yeah,
level
but
Jack-
he's
an
got.
old
Jack,
man.
you do have glasses.
That is true. I do wear glasses.
You and me are blind.
we are, yeah.
And Jono.
maybe Dylan and Jono will tell you tomorrow how stylized and big and funky the dollar value is in the corner, so that's why I can see it so easily.
Yeah, it is pretty big. I just picture you walk out every morning with a cuppa or something, just like level 48 today. Very nice, and then walks away.
In my full length dressing gown,
Yeah, something like that. Just real fancy. Just
stark bollock
draping
naked
along the
underneath.
floor. Just scratch your bowls in front of him. Like, nice job. Waves hand.
Same hand waves after scratching the gooch.
Very good, very good.
Hey, so what I want from you guys this week, or the topic that is, it's an amalgam of a note that I jotted down when I found out about it. It's something we kind of touched on last week that I've sort of summed up to be, tell me about something that blew your mind. And it can be something incredibly inconsequential, which is one story that I do have to share. And it can be on anywhere on the spectrum to space at the other end, which we sort of touched on last week as well. So I thought I might start with my inconsequential story that did legitimately blow my mind when I found out, and then open the floor. So, you know when you go to the dentist, practically every dentist, and I'm sure there are other places like doctors and places with reception areas and waiting areas, There's always
Hairdressers?
hairdressers,
Drug
maybe,
dealers. Yep.
yeah. And I don't know about drug dealers, but that's fine. There's always a fish tank. Yeah,
Drug dealers. Yep. Do you have
you're following along? There's always a fish tank.
No, that's not very
There's
common.
no fish tank at my dentist.
Well,
Is-
there are. Trust me, there are.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know. Maybe I haven't noticed it, but I'm pretty sure there's no fish tank at my dentist.
Finding
You've
Nemo
never
is all
seen
about.
Finding Nemo. I was literally about to say, have you not seen
I've
Finding
seen
Nemo?
Finding Nemo, but I'm talking about like that wasn't my dentist. I'm talking about the dentist that I go to.
Finding
I'm pretty
Nemo's
sure.
not real.
It sounds like you go to a cheap
Fuck off,
dentist.
Jono.
Yeah, Jono, what do you?
Who's the curmudgeon?
I don't
Kids listen to this shit.
There was a who's the curmudgeon now, I think, coming out there. So
There was.
Anyway, continue before we derail
he's competing
you.
here for the
Sorry.
title.
Not a
Regardless,
fan of Finding Nemo.
I always went, why the hell or how the hell does every dentist have the time to look after all of these fish? And you're like, okay, there must be something. This receptionist's got fuck all to do, so she's basically just looking after the fish all day. There are companies that exist in this world whose sole purpose is to rent out fishes and fish tanks to places like that.
I believe
Is that
it.
not ridiculous?
It's ridiculous, but I believe it.
I didn't believe it. My mum told me a few weeks
That's the
ago. I was like,
commercialized
"Fuck
world we
off."
live in.
There's also
Rental
companies out there that hire out pot plants and stuff too to places like that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Why can't you buy your own fish or buy your own and look after it yourself? No,
Might be cheaper.
Apparently, people like rent these things, and now I'm like, well, maybe I should just buy a bunch of fish tanks and start renting it to fools who can't be bothered looking after the fish themselves.
I think that market's
What is a
locked down,
rental
Tom.
on a fish tank? What's the retail on a rental for a fish tank these days?
I have no idea. That's something that I might actually have a look at.
It is an expensive hobby.
Now, Tom, don't go alt-tabbing.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not. No, so I figured out that, well, potentially that's from like doing the old 3-finger swipe across extra screens. Nah,
Oh, dear.
You're
no.
on the
So
Mac.
I've got
That's
some,
I used to use that move back in the day, the old 3-finger swipe.
And how did that go for you?
Not terrible, I want to say.
Not
Can't
terrible.
complain.
Territory.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
I haven't managed to find a price on here, but like this page, it's all, you know, those hexagon ones, and they all sit in the corner. There's this company called Live Environments, and it like services the whole North Island of just fish tanks.
Can I add an idea to today's topic?
You can.
Every time someone says something like you just have, and you're like, this thing blows my mind, let's go through and see who else thinks that's mind-blowing or not.
We're going to scale of 1 to 10, or how we want to...
Just yes or no. Is that mind-blowing? Or yeah, you can go 1 to 10 if you want.
So 10,
Sure.
10 is...
Fucking like that, the gif of the dude,
Yeah.
like fucking mind blown,
Yeah.
and one's literally
Jono talking
just
about our
sitting there-
podcast.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the ranking system.
No explosion
Jo-
involved.
1 is Jono Sai, 10 is
Yeah.
mind blown. Got you. Okay.
Yeah, Jeff. Okay, so
$140 a month. These
No,
fish
that's
tanks
pretty
start
good.
That's
at.
not bad.
That's not that bad.
You could write that off.
I'm
We
sure
should-
you could.
Do the
We
fish
should get a
come
fish
with
tank
It's
for
just-
this podcast. Oh, yes. When we
Rent
get our
an
studio,
audio fish tank.
when we get our studio, we are getting a fish tank.
Oh, I thought you just wanted like bubbling noises in the background occasionally.
No, it's going to be like in the like next to it. Like it's going to be. Maybe we should get like instead of having like a video wall, we just have a massive fish tank.
I'm down. Like James
Yes.
Bond shit.
Write it down.
Yes.
Damn. Are you
Add
gonna
it to
get
the-
sharks in it?
Add it to the list. Yes, of course I'm going to get sharks. The fuck do you think this is?
Frickin' laser beams attached
frickin'
to their
laser
heads.
I'm writing it on the list. Fish tank.
Apparently,
So-
you can rent them.
Tom,
Hey,
on the scale, what does this rank? If this blew your mind so much, rank it.
I'd put this at a solid 6 or a 7. It's relatively
Yeah, I was gonna say
inconsequential, but it was still.
but this is for you. There's no right or wrong
It was
answer.
still a
and how
massive
much it-
revelation when I found this out, and I wanted to share that with you. And
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you, I never knew this, and I'm going to give it like a 2.
Whoa, savage.
You miserable bastard.
You tell me this, and I go, never knew that. Seems like it's a job that should happen, though. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
makes sense.
like-
I was just like, it makes sense.
I also did not know that this was a thing, but I'm not surprised. So I'm gonna go 2.5, only because I like you, Tom.
Ooh.
That would have been a lot lower.
Oh, you're so kind.
Oh. The rating is not against you, you
No,
miss.
no, it's just against the thing.
Hey,
It is
Tom,
kind of against you, but anyway.
Nick,
is that $140 include fish and water and everything else, or is it just the fish tank itself?
Yeah, is it like a down payment install and then you pay
No,
like an
it's-
ongoing, or
it's
just a subscription
All
service?
inclusive?
it's all inclusive, and they like feed, and maybe you have to feed the fish, but they service the tank, and it's got the tank and the water and the fish that come in it and plants and all that sort of shit.
Definitely
Starting
a
at
Patreon goal.
140 plus GST per month.
Oh, so 140 is for like a little baby one, probably.
Well,
What's
this-
like?
The smallest one that they've got on the site, where did it go? Our
Yeah,
aquariums.
I think a shark tank might be a bit bigger.
A shark. It's a very small shark. Gonna fit in this.
What have they got for like a 3 by 6 meter tank?
This
No,
is New
well,
Zealand
that
money,
doesn't-
by the way.
That doesn't conform to the hexagon shape that I was telling you about. So that's
Okay.
presumably for a 100-litre tank, and that's 1.8 meters by 450 mils. And the 200-litre tank is 1.8 meters by 510, and that's the biggest at 199 plus GST a month.
See, I'm disappointed by all that because, like I said, I want video wall sized fish tank for the studio. So,
That's a custom job, mate. It's going to cost you heaps.
well, now you know what? My mind is blown more that someone hasn't thought of that. Like,
This is just this one
I'm
particular
more blown away that they haven't.
I mean,
I'm more
receptionist fish tanks is a niche, but that's something else.
I'm
can
more
just have
blown
a
away that
video
they
wall
don't
that
have a
shows a
massive
fish.
video wall sized tank for me to bloody indulge in. Anyway.
What's that dolphin game on the Sega?
Echo.
Echo the dolphin.
Echo. Yeah, why don't we just have a video wall with Echo the dolphin playing in the background?
Well, no, because I can't. If someone pisses me off, I can't like feed them to the shark.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't realize the.
Feed them to a digital photo wall.
My rating would be a 3.
And you love animals. What is this shit?
Yeah, but I'm not surprised that they rent them out.
Maybe.
Yeah, no.
It's
I was.
ridiculous, but it's not like
It's not relative to my love of animals.
Yeah. I'm a 3
Jono,
too.
you're a 3.
Solid 3.
Nato,
Tom, I got
bring
you
it
back. I'm
No,
a
no,
big- I'm a
no,
big
bring it home for me.
7.
I was about to say Nato's on your side. He's over there like a child like you, going, "Wow, they rent fucking fish tanks out! Wow."
There was a 7 then.
Yeah, that's a solid
That's a-
6 or 7.
I'll take it. I'll take the 7.
Very good, very good.
Hey,
He gets to pick. He's like 6 or 7. I'll take the 7.
I'll take the 7, obviously. Nick,
Yes.
give us a story, mate.
Well, when I was at uni and doing scientific maths and physics, I learnt something that absolutely blew my fucking mind. Here it goes. 1 is also equal to 0.9. So the way that
And
it
0.9 is my level of rating for your.
That's, no, it just. I'm not saying it blows anyone else's mind, but it blew my mind. Because the way that he explained it was the 1 over 3 equals 0.3 repeating. So 3 over 3 is 0.9 repeating, which is also 3 over 3 equals 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh what?
I didn't say it was a good story. It just blew my mind.
No,
I
I
literally
remember
just
doing
looked at my
that
dog
one as
outside
well.
the window and went, "I don't get it even, mate."
Yeah, funny story. The audio level, the shape that audio that sound I just made on the Audacity, the levels on that, it was the Batman signal. So funny story.
The waveform.
Is that the way it formed? It was like It was literally the Batman signal.
Screenshot or it didn't happen.
Fantastic. That blew my mind.
Yeah,
that's-
6 out of 10.
See if I can do it again.
Too much water.
Maybe that's how Tim Allen
7.9.
came up with it.
That one was better than the fish tank, I tell you.
Hey,
I'm giving Nick's 1 out of 10 because I don't understand what the fuck he's on about.
So okay, so you know what fractions are?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And if you have, obviously 1 is a whole number. And if you then have the fraction 1/3, which is a third, turning that into a whole number as opposed to a fraction is 0.3 recurring. Yeah? So just 0.3333333 for the rest of time.
Yes.
Yeah? And so if you then times that by 3, and you've got 3 out of 3, the fraction, is 0.9 for the rest of time. But 3/3 is also just 1, because it's a whole complete thing. So at the same time, 1
okay, I understand.
and
It just
0.9
clicked for
recurring
me.
are the same thing.
Yeah.
My previous statement stands.
I just had that moment where it clicked. I'm gonna up it to a 2.
Yeah, I still don't understand. I will give you
No,
I
it
will
makes
give you
sense.
90 cents, and
yeah.
you can give me $1, and I can say that we both gave
No,
each
it's
other
99 cents repeated.
No,
No.
99 cents.
$1. Right.
99,
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
Mathematically.
Okay. I'll give you props, Tom, for explaining
Yeah, I
it.
probably
well
didn't
done,
explain
Tom.
it the best.
I'm impressed.
Good job. Good job.
I don't have a mathematical brain, so it's like a 2 for me. I just have to believe that it's true. I just have to take your word for it. So yeah, I'll give you a 2.
He doesn't believe anything any of us fucking say, so he doesn't believe.
Are you legitimately giving that a 0.9, Jack?
I'm legitimately giving that 0.9.
Repeating?
I'm,
Yeah, 0.9 recurring. So
Because that's a 1!
I'll just
Is there
put that
any
down
other
as a
way?
1. Yeah.
no, it's only because I don't really understand what you were saying. So
Oh, it's not that difficult.
I didn't know that you studied
it's
maths.
more just, like
Nick.
I used to be like really good at maths, and then stuff
Fake news.
happened.
I am so unconvinced about that fact.
What's that? That I used to be good at maths.
Yeah.
I only did maths because I was good at it through high school. Otherwise, I would have dropped it like everybody else. But it was like the one subject that
Wasn't
got
maths
me a decent
mandatory?
score. No, you could drop maths. Maths was
Yeah,
Not New
English
South
is the only
Wales.
thing that was mandatory, and like that's bullshit.
Yeah,
'cause I'm
English was
shit at maths.
Yeah, English was compulsory.
English
maths you
sucks.
could drop, and I was
You're talking about in high school?
in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't drop
No,
maths
me
at
either.
all.
No, me neither.
No. It was compulsory.
Wasn't for
At
me.
least one maths class.
No,
We
I
could
drop it.
after fifth form we could drop it, but they sort of
After what?
strongly recommended.
Yeah,
you,
after year 10, we could drop it here. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm gonna save this full story for a different occasion. But quick side note: my maths years in grade 9 and 10 were complete. I never did any work, and all I did was sit in the back of the classroom and play my PSP.
Good choice.
Time
Tom,
well spent.
what do
Time
you
well
rate it?
I actually really appreciate that. I am going to give you a 6.5 so that it's better than mine.
Oh,
You too.
I think I do legitimately think that is something that's quite impressive, and it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. It's one of those kind of anomalies of
No, it doesn't. Yeah,
numbers
no,
and
that's the
stuff,
part that
which is kind of mind blowing that it works sense like mathematically, but logically it's clearly not the same thing. And I remember learning that like as a kid and thinking, what the shit are numbers?
What is life?
Nato,
Yes.
give him a score, would you?
Look, I'm gonna give you an 8 because I love that shit. So
Ah.
that's my froth state.
you're welcome back anytime, Nato.
Solid.
I like I like the equation that like one of my favorites is like making 1 equal 2. That's like one of my favorite equations ever to like show how broken the universe really is and how like humans mathematics is such a broken thing, but it's so good at the same time because you can make an equation 1 equal 2,
Yeah.
and then it's just like you show that to like somebody that doesn't do maths and they're just like, fuck this shit.
If you turn a 6 upside down, it becomes a 9.
Whoa!
God.
Oh no,
Mind
you
blown.
didn't. And you won't say pleasure
Coming from a
explosion.
rider.
Yeah, and 1 + 1 = window. That's another one I learned.
Oh my.
Jono's in with the grade 6 jokes.
Somebody's got to make them.
I used to sit in my classroom all the time and draw that shit though, like doodle on the paper beside me, like 1 + 1. Look, it's a fucking window.
Yeah.
What
And
about the S?
the S,
Did
I was
everyone
just
draw
gonna
the
say.
S's?
Yes.
Yeah, I was reading
Yeah.
about
My name
that.
and
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good time.
Even I did, so that shit stuck around well past like you old people to me.
I don't think it started.
They're
They're
with
doing
us.
it now.
I wonder if they are. That's
They
a good
are. I saw a
fucking- I'd love
BuzzFeed
to go
article
to
about
school.
it.
They do it on their
Really?
iPads. Though.
Must be true.
Fake
When did
news.
it even start?
It's fake. It's fake news. Lol,
Actually, I was
me.
surprised the other day. So, tangent. Colin sends out these news bursts of here's some interesting articles to read us on the Patreon of Colin Was Right. And there was like, I think over the weekend, 2 Huffington Post articles, and I was a bit like, doesn't seem like you. This is kind of weird. That's all I thought when you just said Huffington Post and wanted to share it with you.
No,
Did it
it's
blow your mind?
Thanks for that, Tom. That was really
It
good.
didn't blow my mind, no.
That's
So
like a
I don't
6.
want to score on that one.
I give that a 1 out of 10 as well.
Yeah, 1 out of 10.
I'm not looking for points. Jack,
Yes. Okay. Let me just. I'm gonna take you on a little walk, and this will probably not blow anyone else's mind because I'm sure it's
wait,
common
wait.
knowledge.
Let me sit down. Let me
Point
sit down.
9.
Yeah, everyone, settle in, take a seat, and just relax. And I'm gonna take you on a little walk.
I'll have a little Pepsi.
This, you do whatever makes you feel happy, mate. So
What you should have said was open happiness. But that's fine.
anyway, so this is probably common knowledge for everybody else, but it wasn't for me at the time, and I just remember being like, "What the fuck?" Anyway, so a few years back, me and my partner, we bought. I can hear you pouring that fucking atrocity of a beverage.
Is that a Pepsi? He can hear Pepsi. That's amazing.
It's just it's such a different effervescence.
It's a different waveform on the Audacity.
True story. If Pepsi touches my skin, I actually burn a little bit. But
The Wicked Witch of the West.
That's you getting cleansed.
yeah. Anyway, so a few years back, me and my partner, we had an investment property or whatever, and we were looking at selling it off and just doing some different things. And we're driving along, and I was talking to her about I'm like, oh, this would be really good. We'll do this, we'll do that, and then we'll have some money left over, and we'll just put that in the bank, and it'll just accrue interest, and that's just that's free money. You just keep getting that money. And she's like, oh yeah, but you have to pay tax on that. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, you have to pay tax on that. I'm like, but it's mine. It's not. I've already paid tax on it. I've already got the money. I've already paid tax, my income tax on it. I've already paid probably stamp duty and things on it. I put it in the bank. It's mine. They can't tax me for money that I've already paid tax on. So no, they can and they will, and it's just they do. And
Oh, Jack.
I'm like, what
Taxation
the
is
fuck?
theft.
I'm like, what the fuck? How can they fucking do that? How can they just? And I just went on this whole tangent, and she's telling me about, oh yeah, you pay tax on this, and if you buy a house, you have to pay tax as well. And I'm like, why the fuck? I've already been fucking paying for the house. I got to pay the government for the right to buy a house. What the fuck is this bullshit? And so, the government they're just cunts. This is the only way I can put it. They're just cunts. But I remember that moment being like, but I don't understand how can they do that? I've already paid tax on it, and it's my money. That I'm not doing it. It's not I don't understand. And
Which part is the tax really getting you? Paying tax
The income.
on interest.
Yeah, the interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paying tax on interest or a capital gains tax?
No, it was more the one that when I was mind blown, but more in a frustrated mind blown was that I was I have some money, I've got this money, it's my money, I put it in the bank, it's going to earn interest, happy days, and she's like, no, you got to pay tax on that.
It's considered an income.
Yeah, but the bank take the tax out and pay it for you, and they've been doing it since the first time you had a bank account.
Yeah, I know, motherfuckers, right?
Oh, not really.
This son of a
how
bitch.
did
That's
you
it, we're
steal
going
my
all
money?
cash.
How did you not
Money.
find that out until you were 20-something?
That's my money. I already paid tax on it. You can't have more of my fucking money
What?
just because you feel like. Just because
you
you
didn't
fucking
pay
feel
tax on
like it.
interest.
Jack, I'm going to tell you a story here. My parents live on 7.5 acre block, and they have water tanks. They have bore water. They don't have anything to do... that whole suburb that they live in doesn't even have water running to it, but they still pay water rates.
Sounds like a
That's
shithole.
Not really. they don't have to pay for all the stuff, but they still have to pay water rates.
Yeah, it's-
Everyone in that suburb has to pay water rates, and there's nothing even going there. No sewerage, no water pipes, no nothing.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit, isn't it?
Why do they keep
Government-
paying
yeah,
then? It's not
government
like they're going to turn
yeah.
the water off.
But yeah, I was a young naive. I'm the kind of person that I if unless it's someone spells it out for me and does it. Like, I have no idea. Like, I can't. I'm very lucky that I have my partner because she like knows things like that. I'm just sort of like the baggage that comes along with it for her. Like, I feel bad for her sometimes, and she was unfortunately
You're
like
the boy toy.
she's
She's the brains and you're the looks or something, are you?
I lucked out, and she looks at me sometimes. She's just like, ugh, what did I do to deserve him?
I thought that was exclusive to me.
You know,
She does a good Jono side.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure. She does. Yeah.
You know when you
she comes
get
in, she's
that
like, hey, babe.
interest-
She's like, yeah, but
When
yeah.
you
So
get-
no, sorry, go on.
when you get paid that interest from the bank, that's not money that you've already paid paid tax on.
Yeah, but the money that I like, it's earning interest from, I paid tax on.
Yeah, but the
I'm not
you've got,
disputing that
like-
it's a real thing. Like, I understand it now, and
Yeah.
it makes sense. But at the time, and I was like 21 or 2, and I was just like, what the fuck? Why? Like, why am I paying tax on this? I don't understand. Like, I've already paid tax.
Yeah, I find it interesting that you think you've already paid tax on that when clearly you haven't. It's
Well, I
another
just said I
piece
didn't
of
fucking
income.
know. I'm just telling you about a time my mind was blown. My ignorance is also part of the story.
Yeah,
1 out of 10.
my mind is blown off your ignorance.
0.8.
Yeah, the idea of getting taxed 1 out of 10. Jack's ignorance blowing my mind at about an 8.5. Right now.
Yeah, how ignorant. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, but another time, other little. This is less, consequential than my first story. When I remember being really young and being in the car and like on the freeway, and I was with my like mum's friend. She was driving, and I was like, oh. I've never gone 100 in a car before, and I was just thinking like 100 is like this magical number where you're at like warp speed, and you're like, oh, and, hair blowing back, and I was like, go 100, and she went to 100. I was like, that wasn't very fucking fast, was it? I was like, well, I was expecting something a little bit more than that. So my mind was blown that 100 wasn't like, I was expecting because you see 100 in the car and you think, wow, that's going to be like,
You're expecting to
super
go back to the
fast.
future.
Yeah, I was expecting for there to be like warp speed, like in Star Wars when they go to hyperspace speed, and it's like. And
When was this? Last week?
going. This was a fortnight ago. No, I would have been like 6, I think. And I just remember being in the car and being like, "Go 100," and then we went 100. I was like, "Oh, that wasn't so exciting."
In a 50 zone.
Disappointment.
Yeah, absolutely. Also,
So,
sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say I got an 8.5 out of Dylan there because we're just giving points to your ignorance.
Yeah.
Does anyone else want to award any points for Jack's ignorance?
Yeah, I'll give that an 8 out of 10 as well. That was great.
I'd give that a 9.9.
9.9 recurring or just
Recurring.
recurring? Okay. I
5.
don't have a 5.
Yeah. No taxation without representation.
I'll
Shout
I'll
out
give
to
you a
Colin's
5 as
last
well.
stand.
Thank you. So far, I'm winning. It was very good.
You're absolutely crushing it.
Oh, sorry. Well, I was rating Jack's ignorance. 4. Sorry.
4 for
Downgraded.
Jack's ignorance.
Still
No,
winning.
5 for Jack's ignorance. 4 for the tax thing. Yeah.
If this was a competition, we would all be so bad at this.
Yeah. It's not a foolproof system. Let's just
No,
put
no.
it that way.
I think
it's absolutely not.
I think the grading system's sort of taken away a little bit from the concept of it, because it's like what thing has blown your mind, and whether most of it is probably insignificant things like, fuck, I found out I have to pay tax on this thing as well. That's bullshit. But yeah.
Oh.
It's not like
You sound so
I read this
defeated.
thing.
Yeah, destroying
I
your
know,
own
that was
story.
the most
I
like,
feel like
you
adding
have to pay
I feel like
so-
adding the scoring system to it has sort of taken the
He never had any problem with the scoring system introduced
I
into
know,
his
but now
story.
it's-
I just like to point
And
that
now
out.
I feel bad about
Such
giving
a
Tom
Trump move.
2.5. Now I feel bad for giving Tom a 2.5 for his fish tank. Because I'm like, oh god, I feel
Well, you're at any point in time, you're welcome to bump up my score if you'd like.
7.9.
You weren't supposed to be
7.9,
you weren't supposed to be rating the person's story. It was just supposed to be
Yeah.
saying how
Yeah,
to
but
you
what-
on a scale of mind blown to not
Hey, can
blown
we,
has that experience been in your life, more or less.
Oh, okay.
And yous have turned it into a rate that story competition.
You started the rating system, Dylan. This was your thing. You did this.
Yeah, you
did this
can't
to us.
Yeah,
blame
because
us for this.
I was like, just to help understand if anyone else has had their mind blown by a similar experience before. Let's just do a 1 to 10
You
scale.
turned this into Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Who's got the conch?
I want the conch.
Oh,
Yous are all fucking shit.
Hey, Jono,
Yeah, man.
give us a story.
A story. Well, the first thing that came to my mind is the one that I'm going to talk about, even though I was hesitant to.
How he
I
ended
knew
up
that
on this show.
it is mind blowing. No, so I felt like it was going to come across like a brag, and in Australia we have a very a very resistant approach to bragging, I think.
we call them wankers.
Yeah. But you know what? It's my honest response. It was the first thing I thought of, and it's the only one I feel like that could be rated, really. So I'm going to go with it, and if you guys don't like it, then fast forward.
Then we'll give you a shit score as well.
Well, yeah, that's what will happen. So, and I've talked about this before, so it's not going to be new to anyone, but going to RTX, meeting the two guys from Kind of Funny, Colin and Tim, and them knowing who I was.
Did you really meet Colin at RTX?
I was going to
sorry.
say, did you meet Colin?
Yeah, didn't you guys know Colin was there? Sorry, Tim.
10 out of 10, mind blown.
Yeah. Jono gets a 10 for this one, yeah.
Sorry, Tim. Sorry to Tim. Tim and Greg. And they both knew who I was when I met them without me introducing myself. And to me, you kind of interact with these people as in a one-way capacity a lot of the time. They might occasionally reply to a tweet or something, or they might like a tweet or favorite back in the day. And unless they kind of refer to you by name, like one of the,
Elite.
the mods, the elite, as Nick calls them, the bourgeoisie, you know the people I'm talking about. But you kind of just think that we're all kind of a faceless fan of theirs, like any musician would or any athlete probably would. So that really kind of blew my mind that these people do take notice of what you're putting out into the ether of social media and the internet, and that was a pretty eye-opening thing to me. So that's my story.
So what you're saying is
I
your
can-
Twitter
I can
whoring
get behind
paid
that.
off.
Yeah, I can sympathise.
Yeah,
I can.
basically.
Yeah. No, like I remember that. I remember
You
standing next
sympathise?
to you. Yeah, not sympathise. I can. I don't know what the word is, but you're the writer, for fuck's sake. No, I remember
Sorry.
standing next to you when Tim walked up. He was like, "Oh, you're Jono," and he's like, "I know you from the."
Jono! Yeah, that was about right, too.
And he did. He recognised you and he thanked you for like. Oh, was it Greg? No, it was.
They both said similar.
Yeah, no, it was
things.
Greg. I was standing next to you, and Greg came up and he was like, "Oh, Jono," and he's like, "How do I say it?" You're like, "Jono." You're like, he's like, "Jono," and then gave you like a big hug. I was like,
Yeah, there's
I was
a
like, "Oh, wow."
video. Dylan got that on video. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
No,
on. Yeah.
I remember that. So yeah, no, that would have been pretty pretty full on. So
5
I'll
out of
give
7.
Yeah, I'll give that a solid 7.5. Good,
Thank you.
good.
I feel good about that.
Yeah, but no,
I don't
would
need you to validate how I felt at the time, but thank you.
Yes, you do. Don't lie.
8 out of 10.
Nice.
I'm still 10 out of 10 because he met Colin. Like, that's amazing.
I appreciate that story. I'm going to give you a 9 as well. Like, I do remember being there too and thinking, not that you'd done something wrong, but it's like, you realize that the kind of people that they were or they are, and how easy it is to really be like a positive and recognized person in the community.
Yeah.
Who didn't put their fucking phone on silent? I'm gonna fucking murder someone.
Fuckers. And I was trying to be real nice and deep and shit. But you were obviously like quite taken aback by it happening, that they recognized you, and I'm sure there were a few people around you relatively envious or jealous that like, oh shit, I wish I'm here like going, oh man, I can't believe they're in the room, and they're there like recognizing you. It's something that I imagine there were a few people jealous of.
I
Yeah,
was one of them.
I missed that tender moment because I was too busy hurting fucking everyone because nobody likes to listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Nick, that being called out on multiple
Yeah.
multiple shows
I
after
know.
you organised this
Yeah.
event.
Yeah. I just on that, like, to sort of piggyback off what Jono was saying, I was probably more mind blown with just how those guys were as people and
Yeah.
like to us, and how it was. You build them up to be this thing, and you hear stories about like how they are at the community meet and greets, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're so nice, they're so awesome," and you sort of go, "Yeah," but they're, it isn't really what it is. And then you meet them, and they talk to you like you are a friend and not a fan, and you can have a conversation with them about whatever, and then they like recognize you the next day and give you a shout out, and that whole weekend for me was mind blowing, and just interacting with those guys. So there you go. I changed my answer.
Just obviously.
Tax is not mind blowing.
Forget everything I said about tax.
That's only because he got like a 2 and a 1 on his one. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna jump on this bandwagon and get a 9."
I give you a news story, Jack. 10 out of 10.
There was never a right or wrong answer, Jack, and you're welcome to bring multiple stories.
I know.
I give it a
being
10.
Funny. I'm trying to make
know.
it funny.
10 out
give
of
you
10. I'm
negative
mind
10.
blown how quickly you jump ship.
Very good. Very good.
Who's next?
Dylan or Nato.
Am I? Well,
Yeah,
Why
well,
did
I'll
you
put in
talk-
either one of you.
I won't say my story yet, but I'll add on to that, man. When I got pulled on stage after just doing a bullshit story about Panda Musk, that blew
And
my
nearly
mind.
shit your pants.
Like I nearly shit my pants on stage. Like not
Go listen to 4 Yanks, 1 Aussie.
yeah, because I had the runs all that day. So being pulled on stage.
Oh, you literally nearly did.
Yeah, like I literally nearly shat myself because I.
He
had the
spent half an hour talking about it. We don't need to go.
Yeah, it's all right. But yeah, I fully understand how you describe that, Jono. Like where they recognize you. Like I was just casually chatting with Greg that night, and he's like, "Oh, I'll bring you on stage." I was like, "Oh yeah, lol." Like, and then the next day when they pulled me on stage and like got me to tell the whole story in front of the whole audience, I was just like,
And thousands of people watching at home.
oh yeah, and thousands on the internet. But yeah, I fully understand that, Jono. Just getting blown away because I'd met them before at Kind of Funny Live, so like I'd already had an expectation, but then it was still blown away at RTX.
Yeah, and nothing's like guaranteed. Like Pat was on the Game Over Greggy show, and Greg took kind of a minute to remember who he was. So
Yeah, recognize him.
yeah, and that's just it's like these people meet so many people, and they talk to so many people online. So for me, it was just like how. Like, was it because I maybe tweeted them that day? I just still don't really know exactly how.
It's because you got that bright, funky coloured picture
Medina.
that looks like your face. You've
'Cause you wrote
changed
a
it.
book.
You've changed it since, but
Yeah, I didn't have that at the time. They wouldn't recognise me from that for sure.
I reckon they would. It looked like your face.
From a book cover
Yeah, your book cover. Yeah.
that's faceless.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I'll go then.
Let's go, Dylan.
Hey, Dylan.
I have two.
Tell us a story.
Hello.
Tell us a
Tom.
story, Dylan.
We've run out of time.
Dylan's
I'll tell you.
And
answer
I'm-
is Star Wars Episode
All
I,
right.
7.
Wrap it up.
apologise because
Well-
you were supposed to go before Jono. I was just working down the run sheet, but I
That's all
Dylan,
right.
tell us
Just
the story, Dylan.
fucked up.
Fit me in whenever you can. I have a quick one, and then I have another one, which is I've got like a pop culture one, and then a more scientific one.
Which one would you like scoring?
Both.
Science one.
Score the science
Okay.
one. I just want to make note of something real quick that blew my mind. Out of all the movies, comics, everything like TV related moments. When I was little, and Darth Vader put out his hand and said, "Luke,
He didn't say that.
I am your father."
didn't say
Not
that.
say that.
in the Blu-ray release, and then because I'm young, I only saw it on Blu-ray first.
You're kidding, right?
No, he did
No,
not.
He did
he
not.
did. He did.
What?
He goes, no, I am your father.
Yeah, they changed the fucking line. I can't even remember what they
They
changed.
really
They changed
did.
on the Blu-ray.
No, they didn't.
They did.
I don't think
Go
they
watch the
did. I
Blu-ray.
think you're just trying to cover your ass right now.
No. I'm pretty sure they did.
Fake Star Wars gamer girl.
Anyway,
You didn't even buy Rogue
Y'all
One
motherfuckers-
twice, did you? You probably bought it on DVD.
VHS.
VHS, yeah. taped it off the TV on VHS.
So
Sorry, Dylan.
a plasma globe or a plasm lamp is a thing that really got my fixation as a
that a
young
lava
child.
lamp?
And I've got the Wikipedia page up on my page for anyone that can't know what this is. It's like a circular globe that shoots out bunch of little lights and stuff. And it
from
says plasma filaments extend from the inner electrode to the outer glass insulator, giving the appearance of multiple constant beams of coloured light. Plasma globes were the most popular of novelty items in the 1980s. The plasma lamp was invented by Nikola Tesla during his experimentation with high-frequency currents in the evacuated glass tube for the purpose of studying high-voltage phenomena. Tesla called the invention an inert gas discharge tube. Now, does everyone know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
the thing from the X-Files opening cinematic.
Yep.
It's like
My nan had one of these as a when I was younger, and it had like the little setting switch on the side of it. So there was like one setting where it would just blast all over the place, and it looked really fucking cool.
Pleasure
explosion.
explosion.
The part, yeah, it was a pleasure explosion. The part that blew my mind with them as a kid though was there was another setting we could change it, and nothing would happen until you could put like your hand on it, and you put your hand on it, and the beams would all attach to like your finger points where they are. And as a kid, that was the fucking. I was like, I don't understand how this works, like at all. Like when you put in the chat last time, I was like, think of something that blew your mind. I sat there thinking for a few hours. I was like, fuck. Oh, and then I remembered, like,
hours.
this is the first time as a kid I would have been like. This is probably when I was like 8 or something like that, and this is the earliest moment I can remember something happening where I was like, that is fucked. Like, I don't understand how that's happening at all. It was the first time I can remember doing.
I can
having
imagine
something where
I
I
can
couldn't
imagine 8-year-old Dylan being
couldn't
able to be
comprehend.
Like, that's fucked.
That's fucked. 8-year-old. I probably wasn't swearing, but anyway.
you probably were though.
No. Anyway, plasma globes blew my mind. Thank you all for your time. I'll be off now. See you later.
Yeah,
Bye.
I give you 4 points for that. They are really cool. Like
Yeah, no,
I still don't understand how they actually work, and partly because I've never bothered to try and learn how they work. But
It's one of those things where I don't even know if I want to.
take away the mystery.
Didn't you just read it on
there's
Wiki?
there's some things where I'm just. I didn't go further enough. There's a section where I could read how they work. I don't want to know. I'm quite happy not knowing how they work. There's things in the world where I'm just like, don't need to know. Take the magic away.
Fair enough.
Don't spoil it.
I've thought of a couple other little ones if we've got time.
We don't really.
Well, you can
But,
you can
uh,
cut
All right,
Dylan.
Nathan did
You
You've
can
already
cut
had
Dylan's
that.
conversation
No, no, you
short
go.
if you want, and NATO still has a story to tell. So
No, you go.
Yeah, let's
Nato.
let NATO go before Jack goes for thirds.
Yeah.
quick
Mine-
round of
mine's only-
points though for Dylan.
Yeah, 6. I think that's a 6, definitely.
Yeah, I'll give you a 6.
I'll give it a 4. I think they're pretty cool, but they didn't blow my mind.
I'm deducting points because you got the quote from Star Wars wrong.
Yes.
Jono,
Yeah. Trying to put myself in young Dylan's position probably would be a good 7. Yeah.
done.
Does it blow your mind,
Nathan.
Dylan, to
Come
know
on,
that
Nato,
you can
bring
only
us
play a
home.
movie once?
All right, so mine. So I just my whole life, every time I think I've got a grasp on it, the concept of time always blows my mind.
Yep.
Just time in general. Just every time, like I think, like somebody tells me something new about how time really works, and just like I'm like, fuck. Time is just such a crazy because it really is a human construction. Like time is only what we measure it as, not an actual existent thing. And like the greatest show of that is like if you set up a static camera and then like film a car driving past in that thing. But if you speed it up to like the speed of like the universe in general, like getting through to time that is past scientifically measured at the moment, that image of that car will never go across that screen. Like that's how quick like time happens and stuff like that. And then just like the faster you go closer to the speed of light, it starts bending time, and then like you can't measure that kind of time. Like even you getting on an aeroplane flying around the world, like you are out of sync of everybody on the earth by infinity 1% of a second. You're out of time, so you're that much younger than a person that's stayed on the planet because you've moved closer to the speed of light and stuff like that.
You just
And then you
reminded
get
me that Inception's on TV tonight.
And then
you're thinking of Interstellar.
yeah, yeah, that's what I was.
Oh,
literally
sorry,
about to get.
sorry,
And then
Interstellar's on TV, yeah.
Things like Interstellar, like once you get closer to like a black hole, it starts warping time. Like when they go down to that planet and then they come back up.
Spoilers.
Like, yeah,
You're talking
It's
about
sorta
Interstellar?
yeah.
I thought you said Inception.
I did
Yeah.
by accident.
And then he got corrected.
Dylan will
Right.
change that in post, and then you'll
But
all
it's
look
just
like
like-
dicks.
It's so hard to wrap my brain around. Like, it's like an actual thing. If that happened, those people would be different ages then, and it's just like, it blows my mind. Just like I love it. I love the concept of time in general. It's
Did
just
you know-
such a nerdy thing, but I love it.
That-
Also, the time's different in Perth than it is in Victoria.
Yeah, even that time zones. Yeah, time zones is another trippy thing.
It's like lunchtime for you now.
Well, 2:00.
That's a late lunch.
It's lunchtime for Jack.
Yeah, that
Well,
I
it's
am
lunchtime for
in
me today.
I'm in the exact same boat as you, Nato, and that sort of shit hurts my brain, like I mentioned about space the other day, because space and time kind of come together as one sort of thing in my mind when we think about that. And I just remember like the other space story that I was going to tell that I'll kind of just insert into the back of yours was I remember there was something in the news that was a particular thing is happening to a star we've just noticed 77 million light years away.
Yeah.
And
I
then
saw that,
you,
yep.
and you go, oh, that's a long way away. But then you go, wait a minute, actually what we are seeing happened 77 million years ago. Because
Yes. Crazy, isn't it?
it's that is not what's happening there now. That's what's happening 77 million years ago. So fuck knows what's happening there now. And even if you traveled there at the speed of light, like you're kind of seeing what's happening there in 2 times speed fast forward if you're able to like be constantly watching. And it's just it's insane. Like a light year is a distance, but it's only a measure of distance because that's like how fast light travels in 1 year, and that's how we see and all that. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't
Yep.
it?
It hurts my mind sometimes.
11 out of 10, Nato.
Aw.
Yeah.
You guys are just sucking up to the guest. Oh, you guys.
No, well, I can tell you for a fact that Jack has only given you an 11 because he wants to be the next person on 4 Yanks.
Shit, Tom. Come
No,
on. Ixnay on the 4 Aussies, yeah.
I love physics and space and everything like that, and always read about it, so that it always blows my mind.
There's always something new.
Yeah.
It's just like whenever you think you're like half wrapping your mind around it, somebody comes in and you're like, nope, I'm back at 0 now.
Yeah.
0 knowledge again.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I said last week that that's the shit that I would spend my time trying to learn as much as I can about if I had the 2 weeks before my brain gets turned to mush kind of thing, just because it's so outstanding. Incredible, sort of literally.
Indeed.
Indeed.
I'm missing a couple of scores for that one.
Are you noting these down?
No,
8.
no.
I'll give you an 8, Nato.
An 8, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Nick,
10.
Generous.
a 10. Dylan,
Repeating.
6.
6. Well,
Disappointed?
at least it's kind
Savage.
of
Savage, Dylan.
counterbalanced by our 11 out of 10 that Jack gave.
Can we just get a total? Who had the highest score? Because I just want to have bragging rights.
Nato had the highest score on 45, and that was half a point ahead of you, Jono.
Oh, that
You're on
11
44
screwed
and
me
a half.
over. I don't think the 11 should be allowed.
You would say that, and I'm not I didn't include the scores that you gave your own stories because that seems a little unfair. Even
What
though
did
that would...
what did I score for my ignorance?
Jack, your ignorance came in 3rd place with 36.5
Chip.
points.
His ignorance got better than the story.
I'll take it.
Your plasma globe, Dylan, gave 33 points to you. My fish tanks was 22.9, and Nick 19.5.
I'm not a fan of that score.
Tom,
You know-
when you play sports, you're the guy that keeps score, aren't you?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Is this going on Metacritic?
Life's not a competition. We're just here
There's
to have
only
fun.
there's only when I play pickup basketball, for example, there's one guy that always keeps score because other people either just can't be bothered or they forget. And I think that you would be that guy.
The one that's actually just in the back of your mind.
It's just like 6-4, everyone, 6-4. You know, game point. Just so you know.
Just no pressure.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any parting words about mind blowing that they can share?
Yes.
Just one little one. I remember when I was a kid, my mind was blown when I found out that my mum's name wasn't actually Mum.
Oh, see, I'll give
that's
that
true.
a
Yeah.
high score.
I've got one that'll blow Dylan's mind. You can buy a copy of the movie only once, you know.
Why did you buy it twice?
He
What?
bought Rogue One
why
twice.
did you buy
He
it twice?
bought Road
Yeah.
1 twice.
Yeah,
Among
why?
many other
I
things.
brought.
But why? That's the question.
I don't need to explain.
How many times did you buy Batman vs Superman?
3.
Are you
Three times?
Are you making up for everybody else in the world agreeing that movie was terrible?
No, because
or-
I'm pretty sure Greg Miller saw it at least 5 or 6 times more than I did.
It doesn't.
Yes,
mean
but he
you
doesn't do it
buy
on a
3
regular
times.
basis like you do.
I was just curious. I wasn't saying it that you shouldn't do it.
I am.
You know what blew? You know what's blown my mind? 6 teraflops in the new Xbox.
Boo.
And that's
I
been
don't even
Purger
know. I
explaining
don't even
for
know what a
this week.
teraflop is. So.
I'll give you a teraflop if you're not careful.
I believe that. Nicholas, where can
Thomas.
people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Lord N.Prior, Prior.
Jack?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at cruisy_mate and on YouTube at cruisymate. Go and watch my journals from this week. See what I do when I'm all alone.
Oh
That-
boy.
I don't know if I like the sound of that.
Oh, yes, you do.
Dylan?
I just want to quickly make a note and apologise to everyone to introducing the ranking system and have it nearly turn the podcast in the war, and then also apologise for saying the Star Wars line wrong like 99% of populace. And if you watch my YouTube videos over at youtube.com/Viva La DIL, you'll see tomorrow's where I burn everything Star Wars I own. Thank you
Shut
very
the
much.
What the fuck?
He's going to
that's
burn it
awesome.
onto a disc.
Maybe.
He's burning it also, he can buy it again 3 times.
Jono?
Hey, how you doing?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
You want to know? You want to know where you can find me?
I would love to know where I can find you.
Jono's just been zoned out for the last 45 minutes. It's like, Jono, he's like, yeah?
Yeah? I'm proofreading. What's going on here?
You can catch me on Twitter at Jono himself. You can also catch me on my other podcast, Putting in Work, with Jono Peck.
Put in the work.
Putting in the
Just
work.
putting in work. Just putting in work. Yeah. You can also buy my book, The Spy and the Maven, which apparently I don't say the title of, but that's what it is.
It's
Google
more that
it.
you don't say the title of this podcast that hurts us. We don't mind so much when you plug your other stuff. It's just this one. Just once. That's all we want is just once. Just once.
Maybe that
If you want me,
that can be like an episode 100 special.
that can be
feature
a
or something.
Patreon tier.
Oh, it's going to be the $1 tier.
You'll sell out
motherfucker,
your
I'm telling you.
you'll sell out your morals for money.
No, that's
Nato.
Jack trying to pimp me out.
Nato, where can people find you and give 4 Yanks another plug, please?
Yeah, check out our podcast that comes out on Tuesday in Australia, Monday for America. Everyone else can figure out the other times in between. It's 4 Yanks, 1 Aussie. We are on Twitter, on the iTunes, YouTube. We got a YouTube channel, which is going to be coming some new stuff. It involves a dice with 20 sides, so that's coming out
Ooh.
soon.
Dungeons and Dragons.
We'll
Pathfinder.
have to see. Well, actually, I would might play some Pathfinder, but yeah.
Hey,
So
Snoopy.
just do you do
Snoopy.
the usual YouTube and iTunes things? Subscribe, like, blah blah blah. You can find me individually at NatoJ18, so NATO the J18 on Twitter, on Snapchats. I'm getting pretty active on Snapchat because fucking work has got so boring now because like a whole bunch of people got made redundant, so I have nothing to do.
Oh dear.
So Yeah, and then also I have another podcast coming out pretty soon. We've recorded a few episodes for that, but I'm not allowed to say what it is yet. So follow me on Nato J18 on Twitter, and we'll be announcing that. I think at the end of this month. I think the person I'm doing it with.
I am going to interrogate you about that straight after we stop recording.
Did we agree on that?
You can find me, TomDaBomb89, TomDaBom89, practically everywhere. And can somebody remind the people where to find Pleasure Explosion on Twitter and stuff?
At Explosion Pod.
And the YouTube?
And it doesn't have an address yet because you need 100 subscribers to get a custom address. So if you could go subscribe to
on
the...
YouTube.
Just search for Pleasure Explosion.
Deal. I'll talk to you after this. There is a way to get around that because my pod has my YouTube channel, my individual one. I've got like 20 people, and I still have a custom thing, and I only made it recently.
Well, you can help me. Back when I joined YouTube, they didn't have this fucking rule. So
All right.
Yeah,
Bye.
What about the Xbox games? You need to come on and talk about that.
Is
It's
the
a
podcast
PlayStation
called?
podcast?
Is it called Platinum Achievement Explosion?
Fucking
I mean,
shit.
I can bring up the Xbox news if you want and just be like,
You can John O'Sullivan.
I'll just wait for. If I remember, I'll get a good pun. I'll get a good joke in there.
and spread
tomorrow.
that fake news about no games.
Yeah,
of
it's not
shit.
fake news.
It's not
That's
fake
real
news at all.
It's
There
real
is
news.
heaps of games coming out. There's fucking a new Forza. There's
another
what's that,
Forza.
the Pirates one.
Do you know how many games
No,
it
that
took him to
pirate
get to a and He went. There's a new Forza
No, I don't know
and
what it's called.
Pirate
Pirate
game.
one called. I can't even remember its name. And Crackdown.
You're making
3
a
big
solid.
games coming out this year.
You're making a
Crackdown's
solid
been on its
case,
way
Nato.
for about 10 years.
Yeah,
Solid
and
case
I'm
on
gonna
this.
I'm gonna give up that hope. Look,
What
you
about
guys got
Scalebound?
to wait forever for Last Guardian. I get to wait forever for Crackdown.
No one
right?
give a fuck about the Last
Yeah.
Guardian by the
We
time.
did
it
Yeah,
came
but
out.
in between
just-
The Last Guardian, we got all of Uncharted, we got The Last of Us, we got Infamous 1, 2, Second Son.
First Light.
Yeah.
The Order.
Don't bring
We
your
got
fucking
Fable.
Xbot bullshit in here,
I
motherfucker.
had Fable. Case closed.
You're in my house now.